So that's a sort of haunting of the house. And the Smiths become so convinced that the house is haunted in their evidence that they decide they don't want to pay the final £3,000 that they owed the sellers. They said the house isn't worth what they bought and that they'd been misled about the haunting. The haunting devalued the house essentially, and they weren't going to make their final payment of £3,000. And you can probably predict what happens next. The people that sold them the house, it was a pair of sisters called Miss Melbourne and Miss Podmore. They sue for the £3,000. They demand the money that is owed to them. And in response, Mr. and Mrs. Smith do something called lodging a counterclaim. They say, we want £41,000 because you lied about this house being haunted, and we paid essentially £41,000 too much. The house was overvalued because you failed to mention the ghosts.
So then did the case go to trial from there?
It did. Went to Derby Crown Court. It was heard before a judge called Judge Peter Stretton, QC, as he would have been then. It would now be KC, so Queen's Counsel, now King's Counsel. And the sisters' case was quite simple. They said the house was never haunted. The Smiths are simply trying to avoid paying the final amount that they owe us. Safe to say the Smiths had a harder time in front of them. They had to persuade the judge, Peter Stratton, that they had bought a haunted house. It was, as a matter of law, haunted, and that the Podmore sisters had known about that fact and concealed it. So that's what they had to try and prove.